Uy, good morning! I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we are the Castros. Happy Friday!
And of course, dahil Friday, kasama natin si Buddha's Belly.
Yes, that's
Ano
right.
ba ang hinanda, Angel, ni Buddha's
we
Belly?
have we have
First.
chop suey, Chinese, ano to?
Ito, angat mo.
Ito yung chop suey.
Ito, beef stew.
Chinese.
Yung nasa likod, hindi makita angat mo. Kaya mo ba?
Okay,
Yan, beef stew. Next is spare ribs platter, yung sa gitna.
Okay.
Yan, yung naka-black na lalagyan. And premium dim sum platter dito sa tabi ng spare ribs platter. And of course, fried rice to pair it all off.
Of course. So thank you so much kay Margarita ng Buddha's Belly.
Yes, and good morning
Chef
pala,
Station.
Chef Station. And good morning sa lahat ng viewers natin. Welcome to Brunch on Friday because we're serving you news in a countdown.
All that before your second cup of coffee. This is Brunch.
Now let's kick off our countdown with international news. The House in the U.S. has passed a bill that could ban the popular app TikTok in their country. Under the proposal, TikTok's company ByteDance will be removed from Apple and Google app stores in the U.S. That's unless TikTok's company ByteDance divests its U.S. assets in 6 months. Lawmakers expressed concerns that TikTok shares the data of its 1 billion users to the Chinese government. TikTok CEO Shou Zi-Chew has previously denied this. The ball is now in the hands of the Senate. And once they approve this, U.S. President Joe Biden is expected to sign the bill into law. Malaking dagok sa kanila to if this happens.
Actually,
US
sabi
users.
nga nila, marami daw tumatawag sa Congress ngayon sa kanila, especially mga teenagers. Kasi nagagalit sila bakit daw gagawin yan. And then other advocacy groups as well would say this is somehow unconstitutional and would violate daw the freedom of speech.
Kasi a lot of TikTokers in the US have nagpundar ng mga kanilang ari-arian. Livelihood nila is based on TikTok.
Yes.
And di ba, naiahon yung families nila from poor, naging rich, di ba? And there a lot of commerce is happening within TikTok. So if they do that, they have to first compute and weigh it. Talaga ba is the information from the US being shared with the Chinese government? Diba?
Exactly. Kasi yun yung main concern nila.
Yun ang
diba?
main concern.
And going nga dun sa sinasabi mo na revenue generated na TikTok, diba? Of course, yung mga TikTok influencers doon, yung users, and of course, yung mismong employees.
Well, may argument daw, wala naman tax directly sa income ng TikTok. But meron yan when the income that the one earns and you spend, you buy property, may tax yun, may corresponding tax. You buy a car, may tax yun. You buy goods and services, you're paying in money, may tax lahat yan. So
exactly. So, and we have yet to know also kung pati yung iba pang mga high-profile na owned by Chinese na mga application will face the same fate.
Di ba yung Huawei nagka-issue before? Nawala ang Google sa Google App Store doon sa Huawei for a while. Ngayon, naibalik na. Okay.
Alright. Ano ba ating next story for today? Coming in hot on our 9th spot, Nay Christie is facing another libel case. Showbiz host Christy Fermin admitted to being sued by the mother of actress Sara Labati. Fermin says her co-host Wendell Alvarez and Romel Chica are also facing the cyber libel lawsuit. However, she didn't disclose other details about the case, stating that their lawyers are now handling the matter. This comes after Labati's mother Esther shared an Instagram photo of her with her husband in front of a DOJ's office. Users suspected different celebrities of being sued surrounding the split between Sara and her husband, Richard Gutierrez. Panibagong laban na naman
Ni Nanay
Christie.
Oo.
I'm sure malulusutan naman yan all the time. But
not defending her. Of course,
of
fair.
course.
But time and again naman, she has proven na yung mga info niya have held some form of truth naman. But let's see how this goes. We're hoping for the best for everyone.
Everyone both sides.
Concerned. Both sides.
Makausap sana natin sila sometime. Pag may time tayo. Okay, go.
Okay, next. Percolating on our 8th spot, the health department has expressed alarm over the rising tuberculosis cases in the country. In 2023, there were over 612,000 cases of TB in the Philippines. That's roughly over 500 in every 100,000 Filipinos, higher than just 400 in 2022. The DOH says COVID-19 lockdowns were a major factor. They explained that TB was easily transmitted within households. Experts note that TB is curable if proper medications are taken. World leader eye to eradicate TB as a public health threat by 2030.
And to get the bigger picture on why tuberculosis cases is on a rise, we have Assistant Secretary Albert Francis Domingo, Deputy Spokesperson of the Department of Health via Zoom. Good morning, ASEC. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, good morning, Angelo and Angela. Thank you for having me on the show.
Sir, syempre, ang tanong po dyan, bakit po dumadami ang kaso po ng TB and is it alarming na po ba yung increase ng yung pagtaas po ng TB as compared for the previous years?
Yes, it is definitely alarming, no, Angela. We were looking at the data nga in 2022 from around 439 per 100,000 Filipinos. Tumaas siya to more than 500 per 100,000 or even close to 600. That means that the transmission is going up.
Okay.
TB is highly transmissible. In fact, back in the peak of the COVID pandemic, we were worried that this would happen, and it is indeed happening. It's not yet too late. We can still do what we can. We can increase screening, find out where the TB transmission is happening, and of course, start everyone who is affected on treatment because it can be cured.
Yes, ASEC, ang dami na kasing naglalabasan ng mga sakit. Like recently, before TB, yung resurgence in TB recently, we have pneumonia, and then previous to that, we had COVID-19. Ang tanong na marami, how do we differentiate the symptoms? Kasi may some sort of similarities between them.
Yeah, ang TB kasi natin, it really involves low-grade fever. Typically, tumataas siya late in the afternoon or early evening.
Wait lang,
Meron din tayong cough
what
na
is
has
low
been
grade?
lasting. Yung para bang hindi nawawala na kahit wala kang plema pero nauubo-ubo ka. Could be lasting for 1 to 2 weeks, no? Even though you're really doing everything you can, it won't go away. And then for those who have been having a TB for quite some time, yung kanilang sinasabing pangangatawan no bumabagsak. So usually the weight decreases, unexplained weight loss. Hindi ka naman nagda-diet, hindi ka naman nag-exercise, pero pumapayat ka, no? Those could already be signs of tuberculosis. It's also often confused with other diseases, not just respiratory but even cancer kasi they do look similar in terms of presentation, nangangayayat, parang nanghihina, nilalagnat, etc. It's best to really get a checkup. Checkups for TB are typically fast. Lalo na ngayon na we are in the age that it's dati kasi the old protocol is acid-fast bacilli screening. Ibig sabihin, you get phlegm, di ba? Meron tayong phlegm, and then you look at it under the microscope. Ngayon, you just get sometimes saliva or a swab, and you can test it for the presence of TB genetic material. Nakikita kagad siya. Parang COVID.
Okay. ASEC, wait lang. One ano lang. When you say low-grade fever, what is typically, para ma-explain sa mga viewers, what is a low-grade fever?
Right. Our normal body temperature is around 36.5 to 37.5 degrees centigrade. Depende rin kung saan siya kinukuha. Typically, yung mga thermometer natin, lalo na ngayon na digital, yung parang gun type na it gets a readout from the skin. So if you get it from your forehead, typically that's where we take the temperature. Estimate of 36.5 to 37.5 degrees centigrade. If you hit around 38 degrees to 39 degrees, that is considered low grade. Pero pag lumampas ka na ng mga 40 and up, high grade fever na yon. So typically, that's what we use as the cut-offs. But in terms of feel, Pag low grade, ito yung parang sinasabi sa Tagalog na parang nasisinat, na hindi pa siya buong-buo na lagnat.
Okay.
So, when it comes to yung treatment naman, syempre parang common knowledge na alam natin parang meron siyang certain type of treatment na tumatagal siya ng 3 to 6 months. Until now po ba, ganun pa rin yung gamutan ng tuberculosis o may mga medical breakthrough na tayo in this area?
Yeah, so the good news is the treatment protocols are evolving. We are looking at a shorter periods. You're correct, there are treatment regimens na nasa mga 3 to 4 months na lang. Although the standard, usually the common treatment protocol is still around the mga 6 months. But we're working on it and getting it shorter kasi we recognize that this is an issue kung bakit maraming hindi natatapos yung paggamot. And this is also our way of saying, if you do start on tuberculosis treatment, importante ho na tapusin natin yung buong period na sinasabi ng doktor para hindi tayo magkaroon ng sinasabing drug-resistant TB.
And then, what do you think po yung reason bakit po ngayon talagang lumalala na, and what areas po yung merong high cases ng tuberculosis, and ano po ginagawa ng government para po malutusan po itong problema na ito?
Right. So the main reason that we are looking at is the pandemic, the lockdown. No? So over the past few years, 1 or 2 years. By the way, today is the 4th anniversary of the community quarantines in the Philippines. So that's another story. But it is related because when people did not have work or could not go to work, diba sabi sa atin, stay at home. And we are looking at an average para bang size of the family na there are around, or rather of a household, na inside the house there would be probably 3 or 4 families in your average Filipino household. At pag nandun tayo, tapos isang tao lang doon may tuberculosis, highly transmissible kasi siya. So nahahawa yung mga kasama sa bahay dahil nga everyone's staying at home, walang lumalabas. Tapos another possible reason would be yung mga dating naka-maintain on TB drugs, they probably had to go to a health center na malayo sa bahay nila or involve some travel or crossing boundaries. Remember, during the community quarantines, hindi ka basta-basta makakapunta or makakatawid ng mga checkpoints. So that parang led to the situation na nagkahawaan. That's only one of the possible explanations. Another would be, hindi natin ma-test kasi nga still related to the pandemic, ang ating services na divert, no? Everyone was focused on COVID-19 for such a long time na hindi napapansin yung tuberculosis and many other health conditions. So now that we are back to normal, or as we would say, the better normal, the new normal, we're now discovering na, we need to attend to the other diseases that we might have put on pause because of the pandemic. And if you're asking for the areas, there is no particular area na para bang namumukod-tangi na siya yung mataas yung TB. TB is reckoned everywhere, although the urban areas, dahil nga mas maraming tao, mas maraming congestion, di ba, mas malalapit ang mga tao sa isa't isa, generally have higher rates of transmission compared to areas na mas sariwa ang hangin, mas maluwang, etc. Does that mean that we should be afraid? No. If we are accessing our services well, kung napapatest tayo, at kung alam natin, and thank you for this opportunity to say nga yung mga symptoms, we should not be afraid because unlike COVID-19 at the start, yan kasi may gamot na rin yung COVID-19 ang TB meron talagang gamot yan, nagagamot po yan.
And of course, Secretary Herbosa have mentioned about portable X-ray na po pwede nyo pong magamit para ma-check yung mga kababayan natin in different areas. Can you tell us more about it? And also the TB vaccine that will be available by 2028.
Correct, Angela. So, when I graduated medicine not so long ago, 2008, yung pag sinabi, we do X-ray for screening, diagnosis. Ang alam namin talaga yung X-ray na may clinic, pupunta ka sa isang clinic, malaki yung machine, and then you have to actually have air conditioning, etc. Now, and I saw it myself yesterday, there are ultra-portable handheld. So they're no bigger than a small box, they're light. I think the official weight is around 8 kilos or 7 kilos only. And they're connected to a computer, and there's an AI, artificial intelligence or program, that is able to analyze the image and not only for tuberculosis, like kung may iba siyang findings, pwede siyang mag-suggest, no? So typically, we still need a radiologist, a proper radiologist, a human, to give more detailed interpretation. But if we are after speed, if we're after fast detection and screening, kayang-kaya siya ng computer. So imagine if this is deployed, and that's the plan of the DOH, to deploy it to our health centers para pag may pasyenteng lalapit, ang bilis lang in just like a few minutes, makukuha yung x-ray at digital na siya, wala nang plaka, sanay ako may plaka pa eh. So that will help us detect yung ating TB faster. There are, there are a few vaccines in the works for TB. We're not expecting them to come maybe baka mga 2026, 2027 pa. In the near future, but that's the very near future, that's the good news. So while waiting for that, we continue with faster detection and earlier treatment.
Ayun,
Yeah,
alright.
thank you.
I guess siguro brief, maikling paalala lang sa publiko, ASEC, regarding TB, yung magpa-check up sila at magpatuloy ng kanilang gamot sa TB.
Yes, para po sa ating mga kababayan, huwag po tayong matakot, ang TB po ay nagagamot. Huwag po tayong para bang mahiya or pumunta. Pag pumunta po sa health center, di naman kailangan i-anunsyo kung may concern tayo. No? Pwede tayong lumapit sa ating healthcare workers, sabihin natin kung anong kondisyon, not only for TB but for other conditions. At tayo po ay matutulungan. Pag tayo po ay nalaman na merong tuberculosis or any other disease, ina-assure po namin kayo that our health workers are trained to handle it professionally and to give you the right treatment. At pag tayo po ay nagsimula sa treatment, let's stick to the regimen. Kung sabihin sa atin na 6 months, let's finish the 6 months. Let's find a treatment partner who will help us through this. We will help you with that.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, on that note, thank you so much, Assistant Secretary Albert Francis Domingo, ang Deputy Spokesperson of the Department of Health. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Angela and Angela. Good morning.
Morning.
Now, coming up, what do lawmakers think of President Marcos's frequent foreign trips this year?
And are there more resorts constructed in the Chocolate Hills in Bohol?
We are just getting started. More of our top 10 news when Brunch returns. Keep it here on One News. Good morning! You are still watching Brunch here on One News. So
buti
March 15 ngayon.
Buti nga nabanggit na ni Asek. Ano yung
Oo.
gusto mo ilabas sa dibdib na nagagalit ka sa akin?
Hindi ako nagagalit sa'yo. Sabi ko, in-intro mo ka agad eh. Pero yun nga, March 15 ngayon.
Is?
Fourth anniversary na pala ng ano natin, ng pandemic kung kailan na-place ang Metro Manila
CQ.
sa community quarantine. Tapos after 2 days, naging ECQ.
Kasi, di ba,
Enhanced community quarantine.
for a few hours, quarantine lang tawag. Tapos, community quarantine. Tapos, enhanced community quarantine.
Those were the days
di
na
ba
yung...
meron pang MECQ? Ano ba yun? Modified Enhanced.
Yes.
Dami.
Pero, can you imagine? That was 4 years ago already. But, tuloy-tuloy tayo dahil nga mabilis ang oras. Ano ba ang ating next issue for today? At our 7th spot is the preparation for the 2025 elections. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, has announced an earlier voting schedule for next year's election. The voting precincts will open at 5 in the morning, but it's only for the vulnerable sector, including the elderly, pregnant, and PWD voters. The early voting schedule is until 7 in the morning. Aside from this, COMELEC is also preparing to set up voting booths at malls. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia and said this is part of their efforts to convince more voters to cast their ballot come Election Day. They also ensured that voting in malls is more comfortable and safe for the voters. So medyo hahaba yung oras ng mga teachers natin na magbabantay doon. But COMELEC Chairman George Garcia has said, sabi niya magpo-propose sila ng konting taas ng sahod para dito sa mga poll watchers natin.
Since you start earlier, may chance na hindi yung kapal ng linya will not be as bad pag medyo nasa bandang hapon na. Diba? Alright, let's move on. Switching gears on our top 6, 4Ps beneficiaries are not qualified to avail of the government's food stamp program. The DSWD clarifies that although there was an additional funding for the initiative, the rules state that people who are already beneficiaries of 4Ps are excluded. The agency says food stamp beneficiaries will be increased to 300,000 from just 3,000. But they remind the recipients to comply with conditions, including their attendance in seminars.
Kasi benepisyong binibigay sa atin, hindi naman ho ito rights, hindi natin ho ito karapatan. So kung hindi natin namimit yung mga conditions as stipulated sa ating programa, may karapatan din pong estadong bawiin ito at ibigay natin sa ibang susunod na mga beneficiaries.
Okay, kain!
Ay, sorry. Hindi, yung food stamp na pinag-uusapan dyan ay hindi nga kasama ang 4Ps. And like 4Ps program, meron din certain conditions to be able to avail
you have to attend the seminars.
That food stamp program. Okay? Sige, ano ba ang ating next topic? But speaking of food, Diego.
Oy, bagay ito.
Quezon City will soon require restaurants to show calorie count. Gusto mo yan?
Ooh, I love this. This move aims to promote healthy food choices for the public. The details in this report by Jovi Francisco.
A significant change will greet foodies on their next visit to restaurants located in Quezon City. Menus will soon include the calorie count of dishes offered by establishments.
If ever na mamimili ka ng pagkain mo, makikita mo, for example, magbigay tayo example, burger, makikita mo kung ano yung calorie count ng burger na yun, as well as the price, pati yung drinks.
So, nandun na siya talaga.
So, meron ka ng informed decision kung sa kakainin mo or yung food choices mo.
The City Council recently passed a calorie labeling ordinance, and once Mayor Joy Belmonte signs it, big and middle-scale restaurants in the city will have to comply.
With the bigger businesses, they have the resources and it's not so much of a problem with them, and they are very supportive. With the smaller food businesses, there are some concerns, but Quezon City and these food businesses already come to, nagkaroon na ng agreement. The Quezon City will provide some technical assistance and possible incentives for these small food businesses.
An unhealthy diet can lead to numerous health issues such as malnutrition, weight gain, even heart and kidney failure. Data from a 2017 GBD study also shows that poor diet is associated with 1 in every 5 deaths globally. Experts believe we should be told what's in the food we consume.
Any pagbabago, magrereklamo muna bago sumunod. Pero you are giving them naman choices eh. Alam mo ang weight mo, alam mo anong kinakain mo. Oops, ganito pala kinakain ko. Oops, hindi ko yan bibilin. Oops, hahatiin ko lang to, hati tayo. Pero you are eating again. Akala mo yung paghahati natin, inatin mo, in the end, hahanapin mo. Pero at least aware ka, oops, ang dami ko palang kinain ngayon. Bukas maglalakad ako ng ganito kahaba.
This initiative was presented by a delegation during the Partnership for Healthy Cities Summit held in Cape Town, South Africa recently. A conference attended by more than 70 member cities to discuss nutrition, clean air, and road safety programs. Quezon City is part of this international cooperation among local government units, supported by the World Health Organization, Bloomberg Philanthropies, and Vital Strategies. Programs and ordinances that may affect more than 300 million lives worldwide.
While at the city level, we're talking still about big cities of 10, 15, 20 million people, but there is usually a little bit more uniformity in terms of ethnicity, in terms of there is more proximity between the city leaders and the population, and there is also there's easier multi-sectoral collaboration.
Very foundational to the work of the partnership is supporting cities to make this exchange so that when a city does want to take action, it's not a huge hurdle, but it's actually a small step forward.
Member cities vow to meet annually to give updates on their approved programs. Reporting from the Partnership for Healthy Cities Summit here in Cape Town, South Africa, Joby Francisco. We are One News.
I like that calorie counting. But sana isama nila yung allergen report. Nuts, shellfish. Kasi other restaurants are doing it now. Papakita kung may nuts, may flour, kung may allergic reactions ka. Yun lang, dagdag lang nila yun.
Oo. Okay, sige. Let's move on na sa ating mga iba pang maiinit na balita for this morning. Arriving at the 5th spot is President Bongbong Marcos, who is now in Czech Republic. Marcos's dialogue with Czech President Petr Pavel focused on labor cooperation and defense. Pavel offered help to Marcos regarding the ongoing tension in the West Philippine Sea. He said the Czech Republic can provide cooperation in improving the country's cybersecurity and the use of modern technology. Marcos thanked the Czech president for this offer.
While it is unfortunate that there are still persistent incidents of aggression and harassment in the South China Sea, we continue to engage all our neighbors and stakeholders through diplomacy and dialogue. I thank President Pavel for the Czech Republic's support as a like-minded partner in upholding peace, stability, and the rules-based international order.
So, unang-unang ipinag-usapan dyan yung issue natin sa West Philippine Sea. And of course, yung karagdagang mabibigyan na trabaho sa ating mga kababayan because they are in need of labor force dyan sa Czech Republic, aside from Germany.
Okay. So,
kadugtong yan.
Kadugtong yan. Next. On our 4th spot, still about PBBM. Several lawmakers defend President Bongbong Marcos amid issues thrown by his predecessor. Former President Rodrigo Duterte claimed that Marcos has been going out for leisure in his foreign trips. Iloilo Representative Janet Garin says the president is just doing his job.
Pasyal nga ba? Globalization is actually the key in every leader who would like to manage his country. Hindi kasi pwedeng isang isla tayo at yung Pilipinas ay nakakahon na hindi pwedeng makipag-usap sa ibang mga bansa.
For ACT-CIS Representative Erwin Tulfo, it's normal for a chief executive to travel abroad. He says this is Marcos's strategy to lure in foreign investors.
The purpose of their trips are to, of course, to harbor investments, makakuha ng mga investments. Kanya-kanya hong diskarte. Hindi na naman ho si Pangulong Marcos ang may ganong klaseng biyahe po. May mga previous administrations po before him na marami din pong biyahe.
May sarili naman income si PBBM, so I don't think naman he needs to use the money of the government para
To
makabiyahe,
travel.
para magpasyal. He has his own money, he has his own time when he wants to, ano naman, di ba?
Oo.
We all
Siyempre,
know
kailangan
that.
makilala siya ng buong mundo.
Yeah, that's part of his job naman.
Oo,
also.
yeah. But yun nga, sabi nga nila, si President Bongbong Marcos is the most traveled president to date, no? Post-EDSA. Marami na kasi siyang pinuntahan eh. At saka sinasabi nga nila, yung first 100 days ng isang pangulo, kung saan siya pumunta, doon magdidirect yung ano eh,
Yeah.
yung path ng foreign policy ng
And you saw,
administration.
in 100 days, the West kaagad ang tiyatamaan niya. Like Germany, may pag-uusap sa France. Although he didn't visit them, immediately may pag-uusap na. And the US. So makita mo yung policy niya.
Yes, at sinabi nga dito ni Senator Win Gatchalian, actually last year pa to na sinabi niya, PBBM is most potent investor relations officer ng ating bansa.
Yeah, but kasi PBBM is taking over from PRRD, which
Yeah.
was centric sa China, sa East, di ba? So, syempre, kinabig ka agad ni PBBM. That's why he's traveling a lot also. And
Ibang-iba ang foreign
and
policy.
you have to remember, we are coming from a administration that was nag-immerse sa pandemic, di ba?
Yes.
Daming taon na wala. So now he has to repair whatever that has happened.
Secure
before.
investments,
Secure
generate more jobs, di ba? And makauwi ng mga pledges.
Mapabilis ang naudlot.
Oo, yung mga pledges na yun, dapat natin malaman kung alin doon yung mga pupush through, di ba?
That remains to be seen.
Yes. Okay. Naku, ang bilis talaga ng oras. Tuloy-tuloy na tayo sa ating mga may init na balita this morning. Coming at the third spot, the House prepares the detention facility of SMNI Honorary Chairman Pastor Apollo Kibuloy once he is arrested for skipping the hearing about the TV network. The detention facility has amenities like CCTV, air conditioning unit, and electric fan. Once they arrest Kibuloy, the House will provide the embattled pastor's meals. Kibuloy also can use his phone for 30 minutes every morning and noon.
It will be ready by tomorrow, so it can be served by next week. Hopefully, they will enjoy their stay here. We promise them a pleasant experience.
Nakakatakot ang pagkasabi ni
Parang
Hope, ni House Secretary General. Hopefully they enjoy their stay here. Akin lang sana the accommodations they're providing to Apollo Kibuloy was equally the same sa mga dati. Ayoko naman yung just because may pangalan yung tao, may extra special. Security-wise, oo. I agree. Dagdagan mo yon. Pero yung dadagdagan mo ng amenities, wag.
Hindi naman siguro. Kasi
I'm just saying.
nakita ko yun sa tour ni Marian Enriquez, yung TV5 news correspondent.
Yeah.
Pinakita niya yung magiging facility na pupuntahan ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. And may isa pang room doon na hindi na sila pinapasok because may isang nag-occupy na doon. Hindi naman nila sinabi kung sino. But yun nga, sabi na they can deliver their own food, get their own food if they want.
Naalala ko yung mga dati na kulong yan ng contempt Ang pinakareklamo lang daw nila, ang lamig daw ng aircon. Nagpadala ng jacket.
Sana all.
Iba rin ang pag napakalamig, hindi masarap din yun
Well, yan ang abangan natin, kasi lower house and upper house, yan ang talagang gusto nilang makaharap. Si Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. And today is the deadline of the show cause order na binigay ng
Paano kaya kung
sa
sumabay
kanya?
sa Congress, no?
Tingnan natin.
Okay. The Ombudsman has canceled the suspension order against 23 employees of the National Food Authority. The names of these employees were not disclosed. They were part of the 6-month preventive suspension order amid the alleged anomaly in the NFA. The Senate is currently investigating NFA's transaction of rice stocks with private traders.
Sige, tuloy-tuloy na tayo dyan sa usapan natin, Diego.
Oo, don't go away because we're not done yet. May dalawa pa tayo. Please, 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 please stay with us. Welcome back to our dear viewers. You're still watching Brunch here on One News. It's Friday here on Brunch and another feast day care of Buddha's Belly.
And Chef Station.
Chef Station.
Okay.
Okay, let's move on. Sizzling and heating up on our top two. Some tourist spots in Central Visayas have poor water quality. According to the Environmental Management Bureau, high level of fecal coliform was detected in 3 sites. These are the east coast of Mactan Island, the coast of Mawal-Boal town in southern Cebu, and Panglao Island in Bohol. Coliform bacteria are organisms present in the feces of animals and humans, as well as untreated sewage. The Regional Development Council of Central Visayas is now urging the government to take action. Kailangan mag-take action kaagad because if they don't, aabot to sa shutdown like Boracay. Remember?
Yeah.
Mataas ang
Binanggit
coliform.
mo ba kung saan-saan yun may mga coliform?
Oo. Mawal-Boal,
May Panglao, Bohol pa
If they don't do something about this now, mangyayari parang sa Boracay, mag-shutdown for 6 months or so or more, or even more. Para you cannot swim kasi in that kind of water eh.
Ang dumi, ibig sabihin hindi na maintain, di ba? Hindi
Yeah,
na nalilinisan.
Or yung sewage, mali ang sewage facility
Yes.
treatment. Binubugan niya sa beach.
sa dagat.
Untreated. Dapat kasi treated eh. Oh?
Sige.
Hindi. Wala naman. Walang kinalaman yan.
Sige.
Good food.
Nako, punta na tayo kaagad sa top story natin dahil mainit-init talaga yung usapin na to.
Mainit-init. Sing
Sabihin ka eh.
Oo.
Ano?
Sing init ko. Init
And
na
our
init.
top story for today, the controversial resort in the heart of Chocolate Hills has announced its temporary closure after it received flack from the public. Here's the report.
The Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DNR, inspected the controversial Captain's Peak Garden and Resort in Bohol yesterday. They aim to shut down the resort located in the middle of the world-famous Chocolate Hills. DNR previously issued a temporary closure order to Captain's Peak Resort in 2023 for failing to secure an Environmental Compliance Certificate, or ACC. But it took a year and an online backlash for the resort to temporarily hold its operation. Captain's Peak Resort Manager Julieta Sablas got emotional about this.
Pag sabihing sakit, parang hindi ma-explain yung sakit na nararamdaman namin eh. Hirap. Parang you asking about the rate that what we felt today is so hard to explain.
The resort's employees express worry about their finances now that they lost their jobs.
Para sa akin, ang sakit kasi may binubuhay akong 2 anak. May kapatid akong pinapag-aaral doon sa kolehiyo. Kaso, na-sustain ko para sa allowance nila.
The Sagbayan LGU also took responsibility for the construction of Captain's Peak Resort in a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
There is a regular presumption on the part of the Office of the Mayor kasi nadadaan yan sa MPDC at sa Engineering Office at saka sa Menro, pati sa Assessor. Dadaan yan eh. So, once idudulog dito sa opisina ng mayor, I will have to review it. I think we have to be more strict na and make it sure that all the laws should be complied with.
The House and the Senate will conduct an investigation into the construction of resorts in Chocolate Hills next week.
Kung sino man yung buang na nagbenta ng lupa dyan, 1995 pa idiniklara yan eh. Bakit nagkaroon ng titulo dyan?
For News 5, John Arua, we are One News.
Now, apparently, it's not just Captain's Peak Resort. Another resort was built in Chocolate Hills in Bohol.
Let's get to know more about this with News 5 correspondent John Arua reporting to us live from Tagbilaran, Bohol. John, what is this resort in question and operational pa ba siya? May mga documents ba sila like yung ECC?
Angelo, isa nga sa ating mga binisita ang Sagbayan Peak na nakatayo ito sa bayan ng Sagbayan, katabi lang ng malapit lang sa kung saan yung controversial na resort na Captain's Peak Resort. Itong Sagbayan Peak, Angelo, sa makikita natin ay mayroon siyang kalsada na konkreto, sinementong kalsada sa burol. So, yun, operational pa rin ito hanggang sa ngayon at base nga sa nakapanayam natin ng mga staff sa lugar kasi sinubukan natin kumuha ng detalye doon sa area ngunit hindi nagpaunlak ng panayam yung management ng Sagbayan Peak. Pero ayon nila, nung tinanong natin sila off-cam, sabi nila may kompleto naman sila sa kanilang mga dokumento at mayroon naman silang business permit, titulado naman yung lupa at mayroon naman silang ECC. Yun din yung nangyari dito sa Budagta. Ang Budagta, isa, kung makikita natin, isa itong malaking hagdanan na ikinabit sa burol. At base nga sa pagkapanayam natin sa may-ari ng Budagta na nagtumangging magpa-interview on cam, na sabi niya na may nakakuha sila ng ECC sa DNR at yun nga lang ang paliwanag niya na yung struktura nila is ma-dismantle or hindi siya permanente. Kaya nga nabigyan sila ng ECC. Hanggang ngayon, yung dalawang nabanggit ko na mga resort sa Burol o sa Chocolate na nakatayo sa Chocolate Hills, hanggang ngayon ay operational pa rin sila hanggang sa ngayon.
So ito bang resort na ito ay mas matagal ng operational compared dito sa Captain's Peak, John?
Oo, Angela, mga ilang taon na ang mga nakatayo.
Kailan?
Ang mga resort na ito. Yung Captain's Peak, mga nasa 2019 sila nag-operate. Bago niyan, may mga nauna ng mga resort na nakatayo dito. At yung mga resort na nabanggit ko, yung Sagbayan Peak, at saka yung Gunagta, yun yung mga resort na nag-operate hanggang ngayon at may kompleto naman sila sa mga dokumento at mayroon naman silang ECC, yung Environmental Compliance Certificate.
So kung meron silang ECC, ano ba, meron bang iba pang kumbaga documents na kailangan? I mean, kasi sabi mo nga matagal na sila dito and I was wondering kung may mga reklamo rin ba na natatanggap sila regarding dito sa pagtatayo nila sa mismong Chocolate Hills?
Angela, base sa pagtatanong-tanong natin, no, may mga environmentalist na kumwestiyon sa struktura ng naturang mga resort. Ngunit gayon pa man ay hindi naman nagpapatuloy pa rin sila sa kanilang operasyon dahil naman anila ayon sa mga pamunuan ng naturang mga resort, may sapat naman silang mga dokumento at nag-issue naman sila ng ECC mula sa DNR.
Okay, John, since nabisita na sila ng mga authority, no, kararuhin ko lang yon. Yung mga resorts in question, hindi yung Captain Speak, yung mga resorts na binanggit mo, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ang magiging operasyon?
Yun ang ginawa. Tama, Angelo. Yun yung ginawa ng provincial government ng Bohol. In-inspection nila, right after nag-viral yung Captain Speak, in-inspection nila lahat ng resorts na nakapalibot o nakatayo sa Chocolate Hill, sa protected area. At na mayroon naman silang naipakita mga dokumento at dahilan dyan ay ongoing at patuloy pa rin yung operation nila. Yun nga lang, base sa observation natin ay medyo apektado or gaya nga nagkaroon ng epekto ito sa dami ng mga turistang bumibisita sa kanilang lugar. Itong issue nga sa Captain Speak. Kaya yung maliit o hindi na gaano karami yung mga turistang bumibisita sa kanila dahil nga sa naturang dahil na sa issue ito na sumabog dito sa controversial na resort sa Captain Speak.
Sige, John, maraming salamat sa oras mo, ha. Thank you so much, News 5 correspondent John Aroa reporting live from Tagbilaran, Bohol.
Let's further discuss this issue. We have Sagbayan Bohol's Executive Secretary Felito Pon with us.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Felito. Are you there? Sir, nakamute po kayo. Mr. Felito.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning to both of you.
Yes. Thank you for joining us. Sige, tanong na po namin ano po yung latest dito po sa investigation about Captain Speak na as of now, as we speak, ay temporarily na nakasara.
Yes, ma'am. It's because of the revocation that we had been issuing yesterday, or March 13, effective March 13, the Office of the Mayor has issued an order for the revocation of their business permit.
Mr. Felipo, sabi po ng mismong Captain Speak, meron po silang mga permit, no? Aside dun sa sinasabi nating ECC na hindi po nila wala po silang nakuha noon, ano? Sinasabi nila meron silang mga permit prior to its opening nung 2019. Ano-ano pong permit iyon at ano po ba dapat yung inuuna? Dapat po bang antayin muna yung ECC bago magkuha ng iba pang mga permits?
When they apply for our permit, ma'am, is there was an advice given to them to seek clearance or approval from the Protected Area and Management Board, PAMB. So I think on February 15, 2018, there was a PAMB resolution issued by PAMB board to that effect. So when it is attached to us, so we issued the business permit.
Yes, sir, no? If nag-comply po tong Captain Speak sa kulang nilang certificates, will they still be allowed po to reopen and resume their operations? And paano po ba yung ibang resorts in questions? Kasi if dumaan naman sila properly sa process, may puhunan po na na-incur sa part nila. At sabi po ni parang Governor Aris, hindi po daw niya alam na may ibang construction pala sa mga ibang resort. So ano po mangyayari sa mga resort na ito?
As far as Sagbayan is concerned, there is an indefinite cancellation of their permit, not until they can show to us the so-called environmental compliance certificate duly issued by DENR Region 7. Then we will not open or reopen or reinstate their business permit. Now, in the event that the ECC shall be assuming the DENR will issue an ECC, then it is not automatic, sir. We have to, all of those perceived to be violations of the business establishment have to be rectified and corrected.
Okay.
We just have to follow up that question, because Governor Aris Aumentado said that he was not informed about the construction of resorts in Chocolate Hills. Is this true?
That I cannot comment on that, ma'am, no? Because that is from the provincial government level. But as far as we are concerned, we issue a revocation, and if the DENR will issue an ECC then we will reinstate, but the subject for corrections and rectifications of the physical structure.
With all of this happening, Mr. Felito, can you say po on your end na wala naman pong pagkukulang sa inyo?
I think so, because all of those required papers for the application, halimbawa yung zoning, yung sa land area, no, sa assessor, sa engineering natin, we trust on the expertise of our technical people, and so when all of these papers where the PAMBI resolution is being attached, be elevated and forwarded to the office of the mayor. Under the ARPA law, the mayor has to sign the document. No, the mayor will issue a business permit to that effect. Because we rely, we rely on the expertise of our department heads. No?
Okay. Mr. Felipe, yung regarding po sa Captain's Peak, yung mga empleyado nila, I think they have 16 employees po na temporarily habang naka-shutdown, mawawalan po ng hanap buhay. Ngayon, is the Sagbayan LGU po going to provide any kind of assistance po sa mga employees na ito?
Our DSWD is now we are talking about it actually with the DSWD in what way can we be able to provide assistance to these 16 employees na nagiging jobless.
Alright, and yun nga po, tanong na din natin kung are we working on steps to permanently close and abolish the resort?
I cannot project in the future, ma'am. No? As of now, the revocation is indefinite until they can fully comply with the issuance of ECC from the ENR and then rectify what is needed to be rectified in the area. Then maybe we will cross the bridge when we get there, ma'am.
Okay. Lastly, very quick lang po, do you think we need to change the process ng acquiring ng permits dyan po sa inyo sa Bohol?
I think in the guidelines of the ENR first, it has to be revisited by the experts, especially the DENR people, the PAMBI. No? The guidelines should be, because to me there is an ambiguity in the guidelines, so it has to be ironed out or revisited and revised. No? And as far as with this development, I can assure to the public we will do our utmost care, no, in making sure that all of this, whenever there will be a new applicant, no, of the same nature, we may probably getting
All right.
more strict.
Okay, all right. Sige, we don't have much time. We have a lot of questions pa. But thank you so much, Nagbayan Bohol Executive Secretary Felito Pon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much to both of you.
And with that, I would like to share my quote for this morning. A nation that destroys its soils destroys itself. Forests are the lungs of our land, purifying the air and giving fresh strength to our people. Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Those are the words from Franklin Roosevelt. Thank you so much, Agudas Belly, Asian Food, Marjorie Tan, and of course, Chef Station for this wonderful food.
Wonderful Friday
for
meal.
Friday. Yan. Thank you so much.
Thank you to all our viewers. And that wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Join us again on Monday. I'm Angela Lagunsad Castro.
And I'm sure I'm Angelo Castro III. We are One News.
All sides, all the time. Happy weekend!